I'm gonna run through this really quick. I'm just gonna chop it up so you can see exactly what I did, and I had things set right. The big things are is one, red is not showing up as a 255 pure red. If you had to edit a Ferrari or an Apple or something like that where it was just red and that was the color, you would not be spot on. That's a big problem for somebody selling Coke cans, especially when you're selling a monitor that is supposed to be the best in color. That's one problem. The second problem is when I calibrate in panel native and 16 LUT, it will not register that calibration under calibration 1, 2, or 3 or whatever. It just is blank now. It won't let you check that. So it bumps it up to Adobe. When I'm in Adobe as the selection, the reds look pretty good. It's not until you actually calibrate it and select calibration 1 where you start to get things that are kind of wonky. But that's what you're paying for, is a monitor that is hardware calibrated so that it's even more accurate than just selecting Adobe. I would hope that's what this is all about. Also, when I did this on the second monitor, I got a fail on the calibration. So this particular panel it's either drifting or I'm not sure, because that's not my business. I just make images. Anyway, as far as I know, I'm one of the only people that is doing a review where I'm actually doing a review of how it works. Everybody else is just saying, oh, wow, it looks nice. And I just remember, I paid for this monitor. You guys didn't send this to me as a test and to be a color guru with Benq. Although sometimes I think I should be by now. So I paid $2,000 for a monitor that can't produce red. I paid for a monitor that cannot calibrate in what it's supposed to, panel native and 16-bit, and it fails sometimes down the road when I do validation. Anyway, here we go. I don't know whether it's this monitor, this particular panel that you guys sent me, or whether it's all over. But if this is the way you want me to do the review without any interaction between us, this is the way I'll do it. But right now, I'm kind of stuck with a monitor that's $2,000 that I can't calibrate red to, and I can't get it to pass. So if you found anything else in the rest of the stuff I've done that is bad, let me know. Let me show you this really quick. That when I say test image, this is the test image that I use. A lot of people have seen this. This is in proofing right now. So this is just through Lightroom, and you probably can't see it, but these strawberries right here are not really as red as they should be. And this right here is definitely orange. If somebody walked up, they would go, that's orange. I mean, this right here, this orange where the hand is supposed to be, and this is supposed to be red, and it's just not red. So when I refer to the strawberries, that's what I'm talking about. This is a pretty common, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's a pretty common test image that floats around. So that's that. All right, I'm gonna show you really quick how I'm set up. Like I said, if you can find something that I'm doing wrong or some way that this is set up, man, let me know. So this is the last calibration that I did at 1539. And if you go over to advanced, I have Windows off, set up on 1539. If I go to change system, 1539, so everything is set up there. If we go over to NVIDIA, choose how colors are set. It's just let the application run. Regarding multiple displays, there you go. Benq SW321 is number 1. So the other one is a 302W NEC. Here is resolution is in native, just like you guys say. I'm in 10-bit. I have done this test in both 10-bit and 8-bit. RGB and full. I've also tried it limited. So that is about it, guys, on that. Right now, I'm just checking the mode. I'm set up to start this out. You can't see it on there, but it is in calibration 1 from the last setup. So bring up Palette Master. Now, you guys had also sent me the new, or I guess it's new, it's not up yet, the 1.3.9. So currently I'm using a i1 Pro. If you remember correctly on the last, before I actually ordered a studio from, another calibrator brand new from Amazon, and that did the same thing. So we know it's not the calibrator the spectrophotometer that I'm using. Go ahead and go to Advanced, i1 Pro 2. I'll go ahead and hit check center just in case. Start. We're going to proof. Go to next. Now in this one we're going to go full bore, I guess you could call it. Set up with Adobe 65. Go to panel native. And the problem that I was having here before was it would barely pass. We'll go ahead and do relative. It would barely pass, and then even when it would pass, you couldn't use it. It wouldn't register it as what do I want to say? As one of the calibration options. It wouldn't even come up as a selection. So we'll put this under calibration 1. Obviously today we'll let them do this. We don't need to do this system level. We're going to go 16-bit, and I'm just going to do a medium size just for the sake of time. We'll start measurement. Okay, so we are done the calibration, and once again notice that I'm using 1.3.9, but obviously this did the same thing with 3.8, or I wouldn't be using it. So we'll go ahead and validate the calibration. I can tell just by that color, orange. Red, it's supposed to be red. It's not right. It's going back. I don't know what else to tell you, but right away, that color is not the same color that came up on the previous measuring. So it says it's passed, but if you take a look at the red down here, it's 3.59, and these colors are pretty far off. Now, what I'm going to do now is go to mode, and I'm going to take a picture of this with my phone. Right now it's in Adobe RGB. If you try to go over to calibration 1, there is no calibration 1. So right now I'm in Adobe. All right, it passed and passed, but what I'm going to do is go back and revalidate. So this is the second validation. So as you can see, these numbers are getting pretty high, but it did pass. But my question is it passed, but what did it pass? Because it doesn't even register the calibration 1, this up there. So I just wanted to let you know I did this on a second monitor, as you can see in this picture right here, and it was set up really exactly the same way. I did the panel native first, except as you can see in this picture, it did fail, and then did not show up as an option to pick as a calibration 1. That was completely gone, just like the other one. And so the choice that it went to was Adobe at a default. And then I went and did it in Adobe and 16-bit, and it passed and showed up as a choice for calibration. So with everything else said, even if I'm not seeing the color orange, which I've invited plenty of people in here to, we've done it, what, on 5 computers now? Does the same thing. I don't know what to tell you. And like I said, it won't even come up when you do panel native as a calibration choice. And the weird thing is, I think the first panel that you sent me, that I sent back because it had already been opened and used or something like that. You said, I will send you a new one. That one, if I remember correctly, did work because the first time I calibrated it was in panel. So anyway, that's it. I'm not sure what to do with this, but right now, I hope I don't get any gigs with red Ferraris. With all that said, right now, if you think about it, I have a $2,000 panel that is not producing red. If it hadn't done it on 5 computers, and if I didn't see that color red while it's doing the calibration, or you have Adobe selected, I would just think that the monitor is just out to lunch, but it does. So I know it can do it. I like the monitor. It works great for me in other areas. Even if those are slightly red colors, all the other colors seem to look great. And when I proof it, it looks great. I want to have a monitor. So I don't know whether it's this panel. I guess the only answers are, 1, to send me a new panel. I'm happy to go through that. And if you tell me that your guys are working on getting that hardware calibration corrected, I'm as happy as can be. Or 2, take the monitor back because I'd just as soon spend a little more money and get another brand. I know my NEC works fine. I can see the red perfectly on it. And I know this monitor can do it. So we got 2 choices. We either do another monitor and try that. You tell me that you guys are going to get this fixed. But there's definitely a problem. If it was one PC, that would be it. But we're doing it on multiple PCs and laptops. So I don't know what to tell you. Let me know. Get back to me. Thanks a lot. And I appreciate your patience just as much as I guess I appreciate my own.